On the Business Courier front page centerpiece this week, the architect of a proposal to legalize pot in Ohio says, like it or not, it's coming, and you can bury your head in the sand and ignore it, or be part of the solution. That architect, Ian James, is the CEO of a Columbus political consulting firm, and he is embarking on a joint venture with some powerful Cincinnatians on a $20 million campaign to legalize marijuana this year in Ohio. If the campaign to legalize pot is successful, the economic impact here would be staggering. James has turned to Cincinnati lawyer Chris Stock to draft a proposed amendment to the Ohio Constitution that would outline how pot would be regulated for personal and medical use. Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine must determine whether the ballot summary is fair. Then, more than 305,000 registered voters would have to sign petitions by July 1st to get the measure on the November 3rd ballot. The amendment would regulate marijuana much like alcohol. Legalizing pot could result in a $4.1 billion Ohio industry by 2020 and create 10,000 jobs. Key local players in the effort include James Gould of a Cincinnati private equity firm, his sister Barbara Gould, Cincinnati lawyer Paul DeMarco, Frank Wood of WEBN fame, and former basketball star Oscar Robertson, to name a few. Business Courier reporter Barrett Brunsman wrote the story and joins Business Courier editor Rob Dawmeyer in the studio with more on what he found. Barrett and Rob.
Peg, thanks very much. Barrett, thanks for being here. As Peg just mentioned, she ticked off the names. Some pretty big power players in Cincinnati are behind this. A lot of money. What are they going to do with this money that they have to spend?
Rob, the Cincinnatians are part of a group of investors, 10 different investment groups from throughout the state. They each ponied up $2 million. That's
Wow.
where the $20 million fund comes from. They're going to use that for advertising. Radio, TV, direct mail, and as well as for polling and so forth to get the word out and try to get this measure approved on the November ballot. So
what's the return on investment? I mean, this is a lot of money to put up for any venture, especially your own money. Banks aren't getting involved in this. What is the return on investment?
Well, not only are they putting up $2 million each group, but in return, they'll get a marijuana farm. There'll be only 10 farms around the state. And those farms, it's estimated, might cost $30 to $40 million a piece. In return for that, Rob, this group behind it, Responsible Ohio, a political action committee, estimates that over $1 billion annually will go back to these marijuana farmers.
That is a good profit, wouldn't you say? So what is the chance that this is actually going to happen? I mean, there are, what, how many states? 5, I think, plus the district?
4 states plus the District of Columbia already allow marijuana for recreational use. This would do that, plus allow for medical marijuana usage. There are numerous more states that allow for that purpose. In Ohio, Responsible Ohio says it's already done polling that indicates 57% of Ohio voters would approve of pot being legal for recreational purposes. Now, there's been some concern about why would you limit this to just 10 groups that could own the marijuana farms, but Responsible Ohio points out there will actually be 1,100 retail stores that could sell marijuana throughout the state. They could sell only products produced by these marijuana farms, but anybody could apply for a license for one of these retail outlets. Rob, you and I could do this on the weekend if we wanted to.
Yes, we could. And as a last note, though, it is illegal federally, which throws this whole thing into a giant question mark, I think.
One of the things the investors were warned about, in addition to losing tens of millions of dollars if they can't compete, because these 10 farms will compete with each other if this gets approved, they also could go to prison if the federal government decided to crack down on these folks.
So you and I will not be doing it on the weekends?
Probably not.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Rob.